All right, welcome to the build.
But the other one was Nouse Research. Do you know Nouse Research?
I've used one of their models because it was like specialized for tool calling, but
Yeah. And I've listened to a few interviews with these guys. They are full on hardcore, like proper research nerds. Like they have some seriously smart people. And they are training like open source infrastructure, but they're also trying to develop the technology for distributed infrastructure training. So you can have basically smaller data centers, not having to have them like wired together with all of this really expensive fiber optic cable, and with the intention of developing it in such a way that it could be all the way out into a distributed compute environment, which is really interesting, very challenging, very technical, very hard. But you could contribute your GPU to a training cluster potentially, or an inference cluster, if their technology gets off the ground, which paired with a token would be very interesting. But yeah,
you mean like
seriously
a
smart
server?
move.
Like if you have a bunch of GPUs having like a VPC connected or something like that?
Yeah, like BitTorrent, but for
Okay.
training or inference. Which, for example, like if that, yeah, I checked these guys out and they had this basically model come out this week, but then they've got a network called Psyche, Nouse Psyche. So they're obviously testing and evaluating this idea. It's not like production grade yet. It's not like taking over from data centers, but it's an interesting kind of distributed compute. You know, remember IPFS and all those sorts of things that came out a while back? Well, like it's kind of like that, but for AI training and inference, backed by, you know, crypto, or a crypto coin that you can then contribute to and actually
Yeah. It might
earn.
sound like really far fetched, but I've even thought with the millions and probably billions of CPUs out there, like people will start creating clusters or salvaging PCs and creating clusters. I mean, of course, I don't know how energy efficient. I mean, there's so much that goes into that, but we have so much hardware out there that's capable, especially if you're just talking about small models that do very specific things. I wouldn't be surprised if people do that, set up like that peer-to-peer type of service.
Yeah, well, check these guys out. This Hermes 4 is the model they released, and then they've got that training cluster.
All right, welcome to the build.